Hi, my name is Duende. I want to relate an experience that I had going back, I guess I was about 27, 28 years old. And it's an experience that I had forgotten about, kind of wiped it out of my memory until I was in my 50s, mid 50s. Well, yeah, it came up about 8 years ago, about 2000, year 2000, that I remembered this. And when I first remembered it, I was kind of thinking like, oh, I was a little bit crazy. I was really feeling pretty unsure about even thinking about it, never mind telling somebody else about it. But I eventually did, and proceeded to, and now feel very comfortable with the experience. Matter of fact, the experience is what I basically center my life around, or at least try to. When I was around 27 or so, I smoked 3 packs of cigarettes a day, drank a 6.5 of beer a night, was a workaholic, was into computers, wouldn't call myself ultra successful, wasn't, struggling coming up, kind of, but, definitely mainstreamed. Mom was proud of me and all that stuff, and even as much as I drank, it was, everybody said, wow, Duende, he can really hold his liquor, and I was proud of that. But so I was brought up primarily fundamentalist, evangelical, born-again Christian. This is the kind of upbringing that I had. My father was a minister. Never got to know him, but my grandmother was a total zealot, and I was heavily influenced by her. So any kind of spiritual upbringing, religious upbringing was always in the fundamentalist vein. God is punishing. You're going to go to hell, on and on and on. At which point, at age 16, I became an atheist that was afraid of hell. Don't know what kind of atheist that is, but that was it. I wiped God out. I didn't want God in my life because the one thing that I heard as a Christian, quote unquote, is that you can't have sex, and I wanted sex. That was all there was to it. So, sex in, God out. Anyway, so that's kind of like my upbringing. I had never read any New Age stuff. I read one paragraph on Buddhism one time, and I was like, oh, okay, I must be a Buddhist then. And that was it. No Edgar Cayce stuff, none of it. No New Age, Old Age, nothing. That was my only formal training of any kind was fundamentalist Christian. So this one day when I'm 27, 28 years old, I'm workaholic, drinking, smoking, and I wasn't drinking at the time. I was kind of still in the earlier part of the day, and I decided to meditate. And don't know why, because I never meditated, but it just seemed like the thing to do. And it was a beautiful, beautiful spring day, I can remember, in the place I lived in. I was married at the time, and I had beige walls and like the white sheer curtains. The air was blowing them in. It had that nice, beautiful springtime smell to it. And so I kind of like plopped myself down on the bed, cross-legged, like I was going to meditate, like I knew how to meditate, and all I knew was to say Om, So as I flopped myself on the bed, getting myself into position, it was like as I sat there, all of a sudden this scream came up from inside of me. It was like this yell, this plaintive plea, cry, scream, whatever. And here's explicatives deleted, but it basically said, "What the fuck is it all about?" It's not a question that I had. I didn't know I had a question about what it was all about because I had numbed myself so much with the booze, the work, the cigarettes. I wasn't introverted. I didn't look inside of myself. If I did, I would have seen a lot of self-hatred from other messages that I got growing up. But and that's one reason I didn't look inside of myself. It was too painful. So I was not a person that was aware of this aspect of my own being. So as this question came screaming out of me, and it did. I was almost like going, "What the hell was that?" Like where did that come from? But in that moment, it was like this beam of light, this energy, this white light energy, just came flooding back down in on the very core or essence of that question, that scream. And it just came in, it filled me, it filled the room, it suspended me. Everything, there was nothing other than just this sense of energy, this white energy, light. And in that energy, it was with, like English words, and I'm using English to describe something that's not describable. As you can experience it, but to come back and use English, you just start babbling. But as best as I can say, is this thought, this word came to me as I was saying, what the hell is this all about? It was like, it's about love. And this word love, and believe me, the way I was brought up, I love, to me was like, that meant sex, love, sex, that kind of thing there. This love, this word, this love, this sense of love was so powerful, powerful. Just the concept of it as it rolled through my mind, and it was like energy speaking. And it rolled through me. I like to even refer to it as like thunder going through a distant valley. It just said, this is about love, this powerful love. And in that moment, it was like, it became, and that love is the connector. It's the thing that connects us to this thing called God, that we call God, whatever. And not only that, it connects each other, like God is connected to that person and that person, that person. And I was seeing everything as personages. And then it became absolutely clear that this love is the same thing. That's a communication link between us individuals as people. And then it was just like, it's all one. And it was like, I knew right then in my mind, I could formulate the idea, even in that blissed out state that I was, that there's no way that anybody could ever sit there and say, I love God, and not love another, love each other. And that's what that was like a blast in my mind. Everything I just described there was, I don't know how long it took. I think it took more than a millisecond, because when I call my monkey brain snapped in, and it's going like, what the hell was that? Because all of a sudden I'm going like, what the hell is this? Because I'm getting this experience, and then all of a sudden, the logic, the left half of the brain just comes flying in. And when that happened, I was out of the house. I was leaving my house, going to go walk around the neighborhood. And my whole body was tingling. It was just like tingling with this energy and this vibration. And as I looked around the neighborhood, as I walked through it, the bushes, everything was like alive with an energy that just like overlaid everything. Everything looked normal, but at the same time, there was just this, the ability to just sense this energy flowing. And it was like on everything, mailboxes, you name it. It wasn't just living things alone, even though I think they were predominant in my mind. So that's, and that's me coming out, and all of a sudden sensing this. I'm just walking around, not having a clue to anything. And then the brain snaps in and starts trying to figure this out. And the one thing that was like abundantly clear at that moment was the body is a temple, And there I am, I'm drinking, I'm smoking, violating the temple, quote and unquote. But that wasn't the issue. The issue was, and see, I can't remember forgetting, but I can remember the stage leading up to the forgetting. And it was going, I don't want to give up cigarettes. I'm not ready to give up booze. And then, and I think what happened is some of my Judaic Christian programming snaps in too, is about the sex. That I'm not giving up sex. I haven't even had enough yet. Never mind, give it up. I'm not ready to give up shit that I haven't had. And certainly not enough. I was married and everything, a horrible marriage. I mean, poor woman, she put up with me. I was doing what I was doing, which was nothing. I wasn't present to anything. But it was with those thoughts in mind. It's about the last thing I can remember about this experience. That's what I said. I don't want to give this up, and I don't know when and where I actually managed to just forget this. I hope this might mean something to somebody, and I just felt that I needed to do this because I had this experience and I didn't know what to do with it, and this YouTube is just awesome. So hopefully it gets out there and means something to somebody. Okay, you take care. Okay. Hey, namaste, I used to see people that do that want to slap the crap out of them.